What's up, my friends? It's TMX once again. Today, I want to talk to you about a question that was posed by a community member. They had said, I think it was Frostbite Labs, he had said, why doesn't MetaZoo and other smaller companies, and you can insert whatever genre of collectibles are you thinking of, why don't they just do direct to consumer sales instead of doing distribution and all that? Well, I don't know if you guys were aware of the last 5 years of MetaZoo, but I don't know, 5 years is a little exaggeration, but the last end of MetaZoo, really direct to consumer sales, really put MetaZoo out of business. And if you're part of manufacturing, if you're part of any kind of industry that has employees, you know that hiring and training are the most expensive expenditures that you have. So when you have distribution, you don't have to worry about selling it directly. You won't have to worry about shipments getting destroyed. You won't have to worry about training and firing and hiring staff and training them and all that stuff. So that's a lot of costs that you don't have to incur as a company, and you can worry about other things. Give those jobs to other people. Now, a lot of companies can't do that. A lot of companies, especially TCG, you have a Kickstarter, you only have a very small group of people that are doing everything. The same people that are making the cars, that are people that are playtesting the cars, that are people that are selling the cars, that are everything is direct to consumer. So that is understandable. But when you want to expand and be as big as you can't rely on direct to consumer sales, especially when you want to look bigger than you actually are. If you want to look bigger, you want to have distribution. You want to have people that are selling the cars for you, or at least putting out the ads and putting out the sheets that are saying, hey, this is what our company entails, this is what the products are. And a lot of companies are going to be buying into these smaller companies like MetaZoo to get access to bigger distributions like Pokemon. Hey, Golden, for example, distribution is saying you have to buy 500 SKUs of another product in order to get access to Pokemon. So people buy 500 SKUs of Digimon booster boxes in order as an incentive to be able to get to Pokemon, because Pokemon's a big money maker for a lot of companies. A lot of card shops need Pokemon in order to survive. So they'll buy something that they necessarily might not be into because they want to get access to something else that's more important, more bigger margins for them. So then you have to incentivize for those people, those shop owners, to be able to get the product through distribution so that you can continue to distribute, and rather than distributing directly through yourself or being the direct to consumer seller, because then you have to incur a lot of risk. You have to hold the product, you have to have a place to store it, you have to pay the rent on it, you have to pay people to ship it, you have to pay for unemployment benefits. You have to pay for a place to hold these items, rent on the product itself. You have to guess how many products you need to sell. You need to sell the product. You need to go out there and do the hard labor of everything. So direct to consumer sales might sound great because there's high margin. You can sell it. You can buy it at the cost and sell it at whatever you want to. And you have to now accrue all these other items that may necessarily be something that you want to do as a company, when you have other things you want to do as a company that you have to work on, like making a product accessible, making sure that the quality is good, making sure that people are making what you're asking them to make. You're checking in on your employees, like the artists or other people who you're contracted to do products for you. All that other stuff is way more important when you're looking at the bigger picture, when you're trying to sell a huge company. Now, if you have the ability to do it direct to consumer product, then you probably have a smaller company. You probably have a lower uh, fan base. That's not a problem. That's not a big issue, because now you're making more money on top of it. You're having the customers include the risk by giving pre-orders, by making them do a Kickstarter, by making them hold out money out of their pocket until the product is made before you're distributing to them, or you're just paying that all out of pocket and hoping that people are going to buy something that you're making. Well, a lot of these companies go out of business because they're doing direct to consumer product, and they are assuming that people want to buy their product, and then they're spending money on marketing to try to get it now that the product's already made and nobody wants to buy it, and it kind of sits on a shelf, and then they close as a company. So direct to consumer sales, if you are a fan of MetaZoo, you would be against them because you know how it is, that they're going to make pre-orders, you're going to pay pre-orders, you're never going to get your product, you're going to get screwed like we've been in the past. So that's the story in itself. I don't believe that we should be thinking about that. I think we should be thinking bigger. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Be cool, do good, and be nice to each other. Peace.